Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Giratina in the Open Great League, and not for any reason but because this Pokemon actually got to number 2 in the World Championship from the team from Enequence. Also, links to Enequence in the description to his YouTube channel. Please go there, feel free to subscribe. He does so much for the community. I would really appreciate if you would show some love there as well. Anyway, we're going to be able to go for a Brave Bird here with our Thackery. Thackery is going to be our lead for this team. We might not play everything perfectly, not like he did. Like, honestly, I enjoyed the battles that he did, especially during the World Championships, because like he had a little bit of an interesting team here. Also with the normal Poliwrath, which is a Pokemon that you barely really see nowadays. And of course, the signature pick of Giratina, which he already brought to the Utrecht Regional, giving him the win and giving him the opportunity to go to the World Championship. And also, we're able to at least get to the second place, which is ridiculous. Like, honestly, from all of the tournaments, and like basically the best players, over 200 players, I think, in the tournament, getting second place is so impressive. So, congrats to you. Honestly, was a lot of fun to watch the stream in general, but also especially your battles. Anyway, we're going to see here the Quagsire against us, which is a perfect matchup for our Poliwrath. I'm actually kinda curious about Poliwrath for the next season, because Counter got nerfed and I could actually see a meta where Poliwrath still is going to shine, but maybe not with the same fast move, but maybe with Mudshot again. Poliwrath is learning the fast move of Mudshot, which is, I think, a normal move. I think it's just a standard move, and I think it might be an interesting play for the upcoming meta. But yeah, right now, Counter gonna get nerfed, so not as ideal to build right now. Speaking of not being ideal to build, I made a video yesterday about top 10 teams, not top 10 teams, top 10 Pokemon that you should not build anymore, so definitely check it out, going to be linked in the end card. Thanks so much for all the feedback for it. There's going to be a video later on today as well, which is going to go about top 15 Pokemon most likely that you want to build for the next season, so feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the content towards the new season. Would really appreciate it as well. Thanks so much in general for all the support already on the videos. The hype for the next season is real, and I really enjoy this as well, so thanks so much. Really appreciate all of the support right now. Anyway, what we have here as well, we have a lot of lag in Go Battle League right now. I don't know why. Like, it's actually like, if you have normal games are actually totally fine. Everything works out totally fine. Like here, we don't really have frame drops. But then I have like, I don't know, every like third, fourth, fifth game, somewhere around there, a game where I just literally stand still for 5 seconds in the middle of the battle, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So there's something weird going on there for sure, but I'm not too sure what it is, but hopefully they're gonna fix it towards the new season. But yeah, we're gonna take a look here at a Marshtomp. I don't really know why the opponent is running a Marshtomp. Marshtomp actually has a little bit of more potential now since the Mud Bomb got buffed, but yeah, I don't think that this Pokemon is going to have any potential next season either. I still think that Swampert is going to be a bit better, but here we can go for a Shadow Ball and knock out that Pokemon. We can go for another Shadow Ball to knock out that Talonflame. This is going to be a very good game. Moving on now, let's see what the next opponent is going to have here. We're going to have a Thackery against us in the lead. That is going to be a fairly neutral matchup. What we kind of want to do here is we kind of want to stay in for a little bit. Honestly, it's going to be so interesting on how the next meta is going to be without Thackery, without counter users. That is going to be quite an interesting one. Counter users, I think there's not a single one in the top 100 anymore, which is quite ridiculous. Mainly because a lot of counter users depended on the timing of their charge moves as well, like the Vigoroth, where you perfectly get to the first body slam after 5 counters. Which is not going to be the case anymore, and this is going to be a huge impact for it. That's why I suggest as well for a counter nerf to nerf the attack a little bit more instead of the energy. Nerfing the attack instead of the energy would have definitely impacted it way less than it did right now. But still, I'm actually down for a completely new meta. Yeah, I know, a lot of Pokemon that we all build kinda are useless now. I know that as well, but I still think it is better to completely start fresh, especially for the new season. It's going to be kinda a lot of fun. Especially as we had like kinda a similar meta the entire way through the last like 2 years, and I just like that it's completely different now, not just like one Pokemon is gone. So, anyway, we're going to see the Talonflame here against us. We can go for a Sky Attack. Sky Attack is coming through. This is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent's Talonflame, which is lovely. And I think I still should be in a decent spot here. I can go into my Giratina, let the first move go through. Might be actually even the Flame Charge, which is lovely. And so we are going to be in a perfect spot. We can use a shield here if we want to. We can even let the move go through if we want to. It doesn't really matter. They let the move go through. Fly is still not going to be enough to knock us out, which is great. And we can go for another Shadow Ball. This is going to be able to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Well, let's see who we have here. We're going to have Swampert here. Also a Pokemon that's going to get nerfed next season, so maybe don't build your Swamperts yet. We have to see on how good this Pokemon is going to be in the next season. With Mudshot generating less energy is going to be quite impactful for it. I think then you need always 5 fast moves to get to the move, which I guess is kind of fine. I think that's kind of totally okay. But in comes now the opponent's Golbat. That is not good for us at all. We can let one move go through at least. Get one Icy Wind onto them. Dropping the opponent's attack is going to be quite helpful here, as this is going to be able to not get the shield or anything, but at least getting the attack drop is cool because now they're forced to go for another charge move. And we are going to be able to now try to reach another one. It doesn't work, but we can go back into our Skarmory and just try to go for the full farm down. As they are now doing less damage, we should be even able to survive this one still. We are able to survive it, and we can go for the full farm down, have a ton of energy. We can go for another Brave Bird against the Swampert, and now we just have to hope that there's not something like a weekly tough in the bag. So we have a good time. It's going to be a Drapion, which is kind of similar to a weekly tough for us, because we are not going to be able to really hit this with any neutral hits here. We're going to only have resisted damage, and of course it's going to get the defense drop immediately with the first crunch, which can be also a little bit impactful. Anyway, we're going to try our best here to go for the full farm down, especially if this is possible. That would be great, but let's find out if we can do that. We cannot. They can still go for a charge move. That's just going to be a good game. We're gonna still win this one. It's going to be an awkward here, and so we can go for the Shadow Ball, and Swampert should most likely go down from this. At least it should do a lot of damage, enough for us to farm them down, and we can move on to the next opponent. Talonflame in the lead, again, it's going to be a horrible matchup for us, and we are going to see here some lag in the beginning. Isn't that lovely? It is not. Like, this happened to me quite often where I was just not able to really, do something in the beginning, or like even midway through where the opponent was able to go for their attacks, and I just got like reconnection, you know the drill. I don't know why. Like, I honestly don't really know why this happened, but we can still try our best here to come back from this one. Of course, we are now in a very big disadvantage, horrible lead for us, and also we are now way slower than the opponent. At least we can still go for another Icy Wind. Can we get the shield from the opponent here as well? That would be great. We do not, but they are going to be debuffed, and so we can align our Giratina here, trying our best with this Pokemon. Let's see if this is going to work out. We can let the move go through. We have to let the move go through, I think, at this point. Flame Charge it is, which is great, and now we just try to go for the full farm down, which we can, and so we're still actually in a solid spot, but they're going to have the Obama Stone on the back, and I guess this is going to be quite a tricky one to come back from. If we would have had the little bit of fast move pressure in the beginning already, we would have been most likely in a bit of a better spot. But we're still going to try our best here, as they're going to reveal the Swampert in the back. They are going to be weak to one Brave Bird, and I think I still have a decent chance of winning this battle if this is going to land, but it does not land. Sadly, the opponent decides to use a shield, play it safe, and that makes it a little bit more awkward. I can still go for another charge move here. Sky Attack is coming through, gonna get them low, and I might be able to put them into a range where I can get up enough energy to get even a Shadow Ball onto them. That would be great, would it? But we have to let them... Oh, we should have let the move go through here. This was a huge mistake. It's just the Hydro Cannon. This was not even potentially an Earthquake, I think. And so this is going to be sad, because if we let the move go through, I think I would have been fine. But we didn't, and so we're going to lose this battle. Next opponent, we're going to have a Charger Bug here swapping into us. That is going to be great, unless they are running Crunch. Crunch is going to be a little bit of an awkward thing, but they're running extra, which is totally fine. We can let another move go through as well. Just overfarm to 100 energy, and that would be great. Let's see, we can get there exactly. Shadow Ball will be able to knock them out here as well, and I am going to be able to now claim that one. We see the Gligar coming in. We are going to be able to go for another Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is coming through, and this is going to be getting the shield here from the opponent. They don't really want to get the damage onto them, which is fine. Aerial Ace coming through. We can align our Skarmory. Skarmory is a hard answer to it, and they have a Bastion in the back. That's going to be a good game, and they know it as well. Moving on, our next opponent, we're going to have the Skarmory against the Politoed. That is also going to be a Pokemon that's going to be nerfed next season with Mudshot. Politoed, don't think that this Pokemon is going to be as great anymore. We'll still have access to a Stab, Bubble, but we're going to see here Weather Ball coming through as well. We can try to go for our Brave Bird. Brave Bird is going to be able to get the shield, and we can swap out into the Poliwrath. In comes the Gliscor there as well. We can go for the Icy Wind. Icy Wind is going to be able to get the shield from the opponent, and this is going to be an interesting one, because they could have Aerial Ace, and that's why I decided to use a shield here. But they reveal Night Session. There's no way that they're running Night Session and Aerial Ace, so I should be fine letting this move go through here. It is going to be the Night Session again, and so we are going to be able to knock out the Gliscor, align ourselves. And Gliscor again is a Pokemon that you don't want to run next season. Fury Cutter is just not really cutting it, so that is going to be a little bit of an awkward Pokemon to have. We see the weather ball coming through, started doing too much damage for us that we cannot stay in any longer, and we are gonna use a shield here on a potential blizzard. Let's see if it's going to be a blizzard. It is going to be the blizzard, and so in the back is going to be again the Drapion, which makes it all a little bit more awkward. We can go for a Shadow Ball, doing some nice damage still. For being a resisted hit, that is definitely some great damage. They're going to be able to knock me out for sure with a crunch, but let's see if we can still come back from it. We have still our Skarmory. We are forced to let one move go through here for sure. Can we survive a crunch? Let's find out. Also, does the opponent still have a Weather Ball stored on the Politoed? I don't think so. We should be able to go for a move, but they actually decide to forfeit anyway. Next opponent coming up, we're going to have the Corrector against us in the lead. That is going to be a fairly neutral matchup, and this is the great thing about Skarmory, and this is the great thing why Skarmory is going to be gone soon. Basically, you are going to be able to just go for a free hit onto you because you're so bulky, but then you're going to have the stab Brave Bird, and that just kind of forces a shield here. And then you end up in a scenario where you have a guaranteed shield advantage in the lead, and that is just ridiculous. Like, honestly, Skarmory needed the nerf. Did it really need the nerf that it got? I don't really think so, because like it is quite a big nerf there for sure. But also, by the way, Scale Attack nerf does not only impact this Pokemon, but also it does impact something like a Lugia and the Master League. I haven't taken a look at the Master League yet, but if you want to see a Master League video as well, then let me know in the comment section if you're interested in that. But there are a lot of changes coming up, which is going to be very, very interesting. You have a very decent matchup there. I was a little bit too fast to swap into this Pokemon. That is going to hurt me quite a bit now, because now the opponent is still going to have the Thunder Punch. I'm forced to swap out here into my Giratina. While we resist everything, it is not as ideal as you might think, because a Blast Burn is still going to chunk so much health. And so I decided to use the shield here. Try to get up to another Omnius one there, Ominous one coming through. This should be enough to knock them out. Let's see what they're gonna do. They decide to use a shield here actually, and we should still be able to survive from this range, but just barely, most likely. Blast Burn coming through as well again. I am forced to go for another charge move, and for one more force move before, but I was expecting the opponent to swap out, which they didn't. And so now it's down to our very low health Skarmory against the Dragonair. Can we still get the move off here? Can we still survive with the awkward tail? We can, and so Brave Bird is coming through, gonna be able to do a ton of damage and knocking out the opponent at the same time. Next opponent going to be a Guzzlord in the lead. That is going to be a matchup that is going to be kind of fine for us. They swap out into the Feraligatr. We have a decent answer for Feraligatr in our counter user here, but I kind of stayed in for maybe a little bit too long here, to be fair. But I'm going to be able to still go for a Sky Attack, trying to get some damage onto them, getting a shield. I can swap out now into the Poliwrath. Having the shield advantage is going to allow us here as well to use a shield eventually. The opponent decides to go for the Hydro Cannon. I make maybe a little bit of a mistake. Never mind, I just decided to go for the full farm down at this point, which I think is the right call, because if they want to go back into the Guzzlord, Icy Wind is waiting for them. And they do exactly this. For whatever reason, they're going to be mostly double weak to our Poliwrath, which is going to be great. As Icy Wind is coming through, gonna get half of the opponent's health. I can go for another one here as well, which is going to be able to get the other half of the health. And then in the back, it's going to be the Skeledirge. That is going to be a little bit of a tough matchup. I tried to catch a move here. It did not work out. Now we have only one play, and this is trying to hope that they're gonna go for a Disarming Voice over the potential Shadow Ball here. And that's exactly what I'm gonna try to hope for. It is going to be the Disarming Voice. Can we still win the battle though? It's going to be a very, very close one. I'm forced to use a shield here, of course, now, but I have to try to get to 2 charge moves at this point, because otherwise there's no way of me winning this battle. I get one off, but can I get another one off as well? Do they have another charge move stored already? That is going to be the question here. They have another charge move, and that's going to be very, very difficult, because now it's all down to Poliwrath getting to the Icy Wind. Can we get there? We can barely not. We just need a few more HP to win this battle. Next opponent is going to be a great lead for us as I swap out into the Skarmory. Again, I could have most days swapped out earlier already. I should have most days swapped out earlier already into my Poliwrath, but it is what it is. I'm gonna stay in for a little bit here, trying to get rid of the opponent's energy. That would be kind of great. As I decide to go for their own shot move, I can go for a Brave Bird, which if they go for their own Brave Bird, I would knock them out. As I go for the Sky Attack, it does not do enough damage. But at this point, I can just swap out into my Poliwrath, go for the full counter down, yes, use a shield here, but I have Scald then for the opponent's Carbink, and I think that's going to be a great play for me. As they decide to go for a Brave Bird now, I can go for the full counter down, but they actually have a Venusaur in the back, which is totally fine. As now, I can go for the Icy Wind, try to get a shield from them, which does work out straight away, and now we can align ourselves perfectly. As you're going to have the Giratina now against the Venusaur. Venusaur only has resisted hits against the Giratina, and I can still try my best here as well. I wanted to go for the Shadow Ball here. This was my actual ideal scenario, because I need to get some more damage onto them so I can fully farm them down here. and I don't really have any issues with it, but I actually decided to go for a Brave Bird here on the CMP tie, which is going to be enough to knock out that Carbink, and now Venusaur has nowhere to go. They're forced to go for a charge move here. I can also let the move go through. Frenzy Plant coming through here, and we're just gonna go for the full Shadow Claw down, as I am going to be able for sure to survive one charge move from the opponent, which we will see here as well. Frenzy Plant is going to do 2-shot me, but nothing else, and so this is going to be a good game for the final battle. Hope you enjoyed this video, kind of themed off, of course, in LilyKatchum's Worlds team, and I see you then. Bye bye.